Hey guys, in today's video we start to work with the database. We're going to make a connection, then we create a model, and then we connect the model with controller and the view. Hey guys, so today we start to work with models and we start to get some data from the database. For this purpose we have to install a database, and we're going to use MySQL in this tutorial. We're going to install it. I show you how to do this, and then we start to grab some data from there. Let's start first with the installation of the MySQL. You can open some terminal. In my case I open the terminal in the Visual Studio Code, but you can open any terminal if you use Linux or if you use Mac. Okay, and let's say sudo apt install, and then we say MySQL server. Okay, you just type your password, press enter, then say yes. In some point of the installation, it's going to ask you for the password of your root of your MySQL. So here you can put the password. Mine is going to be def. It's going to be very simple, and then def again, and then we say OK, and the installation is continue. We're going to need as well something that is going to be a graphical interface that we can work with our database. And we're going to work MySQL Workbench. So Workbench is quite easy to work in, and it's quite good for the purpose that I show you how we create the database and how we put some data directly from the interface. So for this we just have to say install Workbench. Then we say yes, and we wait a few seconds just to install it. What we do next is that once when we install the Workbench, we open the Workbench, we create a database that we can use it in our application, and then I show you where exactly we have to configure the Laravel working with our database. So let's open the Workbench. Okay, here we say our password. We open it, and here from the top you can create a new database. We call Laravel. Okay, and then let's specify UTF-8 we're looking for. There we go. We just choose the default here, and you just say apply. Then apply. We have our database created, if you can see here in the left. Okay, so we can close for the moment. We don't need it. Oh, actually, yeah, we can close it for the moment. There we go. And here what we do is that you open your .env file. Okay, and that's the configuration file of Laravel. Means that here you can configure very important details for your application. For example, app URL, as you can see here. Actually we use .test. That's the default valid domain that we use. Okay, and then that's the credential here for the database. We leave it as it is, that MySQL that we used, and the local host that we use, and the port is 3006. Okay, and then where is the homestead? Here we have to say, if you remember, the database that we just create, and the user is going to be root, because that's the user that we have. We don't specify a different user. And then sorry, the password is going to be def, and actually we already here just save this, and we can close this file. Okay, so now we have to create a database. We have to create actually a table in our database, and to create a table with Laravel, it's very simple. I can show you, if you open a database here, and in migration we already have tables create for for the user and for the passwords, and these tables they create, and once when we run the migration, they're going to be right in our database. Okay, but let's create our own migration. Okay, so we can do this by in the terminal, php make, and then we say migration, and then we call it, let's go to say that we want to put some basic information for a typical home page. Okay, the plan is that we're going to display from our database the title in the page, and then the subtitle and some content as well. So let's go to say okay, and then press enter, and it's creating the migration for us. Let's open it to see. Create home table, that's our migration, and let's have a look what we have here. We have increment the ID, so that means that automatically once when we migrate, it's going to create for us the ID, and it's going to be incrementing automatically. Okay, and then we have the timestamp. So what we need is we need the title, could be the string, and we say title here. Okay, then we need a subtitle, and then we need text, and that's going to be our body. Okay, with this I think that we are done. So the next step what we have to do is that once when we create the migration, we have to migrate it, and the migration with Laravel and the artisan is very easy. You just type php artisan migrate. Okay, press enter, and as you can see here, it's migrate the tables that we have before this that was coming pre-built with the Laravel application. That's the user and the password, and our new home table. What we can do is that actually we can open it with MySQL, and then we say workbench. We can have a look what we have there. Just put the password. You open it, you open the tables, and there we go. We have a home, migration, then password reset, and all this shit. What we have to do is that you can open with a right click and then select it, and as you can see, that's the table that we create. We have the ID, we have the title, we have subtitle, we have body, we have created that, and then updated that. Okay, so let's open actually the new window here. Let's create a home page, and let's going to put the subtitle and the title and the body there, so we can grab from the database. So what we can do for this is that let's go in resources, then in views, let's going to create a folder that is going to go pages, and in pages let's going to put the home. Okay, we created with the extension blade and then .php, and here we say we want a title, and then we say we want h4, for example, for the subtitle, and we want as well some body. Okay, let's grab actually this one. Actually, let's go to put these details in our database. Let's go to copy this lorem ipsum because we can use it. There we go. And if we make a full screen, and then we go in form editor. So let's create one. The ID is going to be 1. The title is going to be going to go the test title, and then in the body we just place the war and ipsum that we just created, and we say apply, and then we say apply as well, and we have some, we create the database, we create some information just for testing. Okay, so we can close this one, we can go back in the editor, let's save this one. And if you remember from the last video how we create controller who is going to display in our out the page, it's going to be very easy. Let's go to create the controller, and then we say controller, and it's going to be going to go home controller, and we want some boilerplate. Okay, so let's go to open it. A home controller we have here. There we go, we have an index. Actually, we don't need nothing into here, so we can delete. And an index we can say return. We say return view, and the view is going to be the folder is called pages, and the page is called home page. Oops, sorry. There we go. We can save it. Now we have to go in our, let's close everything here that we don't need it, and we go in routes, we go in web, we grab everything from here, we delete it, and we create our controller. And then we say that we want the method index. There we go, we just save it. Let's go actually open the browser to see that we get something. And we don't have any errors. Sorry, that was Laravel and that was test, and we have the title, subtitle, and the lorem ipsum text that for the moment they just static. And what we want to do is that we want to replace it with that one that we have in our database. Okay, so let's see what we have to do next. Next we can create the model. Now why we use the model? Because from the model we grab we grab the information from the database, and then we pass in the controller, we grab everything that we need, and then we pass in the view. Okay, so to make a model, it's very simple. You just say PHP, and then we say model, and then we go home. Okay, we create the model here. Let's open it. There we go, home, that's our model, and here we say and the table, the name of the table was home, I guess. Okay, sorry about that, and we save it here. And the next step, what we have to do is that we have to go in the controller. First of all, we have to export it, so we say use, and then we say up, and then we say home. That's the model. Okay, so we can grab the model just down there. What we can say here is that we can say, for example, home, sorry, it's equal to, that's the name of the model. Okay, and we say that we want to grab everything from there. Okay, what we can do is that now we have to pass in our view. So the way that I'm using for this, it's the simple way. Oh, and this is the simple for me. We say compact and here we say, here we say the home. Okay, let's save it. So we pass the home here. Let's go in the home page and let's do something just under here. We're going to start using a plate, and let's do like this. The plate have for each, and then here we say home as let's say, I don't know, let's say site. There we go, and here we just end it. We close the bladed, like, and for each. Sorry, that's something wrong here. There we go, now it's okay. And what we can do inside is that we say h1, it's going to be a title, and we have to put in parentheses like this. Okay, and then we say site, and we want the title. Sorry, title, then actually we want the subtitle. Let's make this one a 4, h4, and then we say that we want actually the body content. And then here we say body. Okay, so let's save this and let's remove that one and see if everything is worked correctly. We save it and we open in the browser. Here we go, refresh. We have some error here. Must be protected. Okay, no problem. My mistake, guys, sorry. Oop, yeah, that's a stupid mistake. I just have to put protected, not private. Sorry about, guys. So now it should work correctly. There we go. So we get the test title, we get the subtitle, and we get the body, and everything is coming dynamically from our database. As you can see, it was quite easy process. So what we do here is that first of all we create our database. Then in our configuration env file we specify the connection into our database. Once when we done this part, and that's going to be in it's going to work now in the future without need to do this every time, okay, because that's the configuration file here. Then we're going to create with Artisan the model. Once when we create the model, we just specify which exactly table we want to use using the protected and not private, okay. And then once when we create the model, we can use this model anywhere in our controllers. In our case, we was using the model in the home controller. So we grab everything from here, and once when we go in our view, we use plate syntax. Okay, we use plate syntax, and we just get the information that that is coming from the controller. We make it for each, and then we get the elements that we need for this. So guys, thank you so much, and we see you in the next video where we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth for plate, and then as well for PHP Artisan. Thank you. Bye.